All right, MS-S1 BIOS update and Mosby installation. So, first thing you need is Rufus. Okay, you download that. And the next thing you need is this UEFI shell. This UEFI shell contains a tool called Mosby, as you can see on here. That's got its own GitHub page, right, which goes through all the details about why you need it, but it's basically to fix your secure boot keys. Once you've got Rufus installed, or running rather, you pick the ISO image for the UEFI shell, you set the partition scheme to GPT, and then you format it. You click start, and then when it's done, you'll have a disk with a bunch of files on it. It won't have the BIOS upgrades on it like this one has, but this is what it looks like when it's got the BIOS upgrade files on it. Then you get your BIOS upgrade file from the Minisforum website. This is for 1.05 BIOS. Then basically copy all of these files onto that disk, except the ones with the long file names. All right. Then, once you've got that, keep the USB disk in front USB port, because if you use different ports, it might change the file system identifier. Then restart and keep pressing the Del key on the keyboard. And you should go into the BIOS. Now, on my machine, Secure Boot was already enabled. When Secure Boot is already enabled, if you go into the UEFI shell here, it does nothing. It just goes back to the main menu, right? So what you need to do is to go into the Secure Boot configuration and make some changes. But we can't change this just yet because we have to change the boot device. It took me a while to figure out how to make this stuff work. Right, so make a note of what it's currently on and then set the USB disk to be the first one. And when you do that, it'll make whatever was first the second one, right? Don't save at this point using this. Don't do that yet. Then go back into security, go Secure Boot, and note that it's on user mode at the top, system mode user, right? You need to go onto custom over here and then go reset to setup mode. And it says reset to setup mode, and you say yes. And then it says this stupid message, reset without saving. Press cancel on that, right? And now at the top it says setup. And then if you click save and exit, and then OK, the system will now properly boot off the USB disk. Well, hopefully, in which case it didn't here, typically. So we're going to go back into the BIOS again and see if we can fix this situation. All right. It's all right, faff. So if we say disabled now and then save and exit, but it still said setup mode at the top of the screen. So now it should boot into the UEFI shell. You see the activity light there is working. Right, this is good. Now, these FS0, 1 and 2 are the ones that you need to use. So if we go FS2 and then go dir, you should have all of the files that you put there. If you don't find those files, then maybe it's like FS0 and then you type dir, and it's not that one, you see. So FS2 is the one we want. Then we've got to run the BIOS upgrade. If you haven't done your BIOS upgrade, then you need to run the script for that, which is this EFI flash one. So if you've not done your BIOS upgrade, you do that one first. If you have done your BIOS upgrade, you run Mosby. Right, and then you'll get this message if it's not set up right. So it says it's not in setup mode, but on the screen it said it was. So we're going to go back into the BIOS again. So we disabled secure boot. Then we could boot off the disk, but now it's not in setup mode. So we're going to go back into the BIOS. Security, secure boot, and it says user, which is why the Mosby thing doesn't work. So now you need to go reset to setup mode, go yes, cancel. It says setup mode at the top, and then save and exit, and OK. Right. Then we do the same thing again. So FS2, Mosby. Right, and now it's correct. So now you can update your secure boot keys. So you go OK, and you go generate, and then it's installed stuff. So it tells you that you've got some files that you need to back up, right? And there's also a log file as well. So if we go back into the BIOS, go security, secure boot, and it's on user now, and now we can enable it, and then we go boot mode and we put the boot manager back on. Right, and then we go save and exit, and we say yes, and now it should boot back into Windows or whatever operating system you had before, but it comes with Windows. So now it's booting back up into Windows, and the USB disk is still in the machine. So now we can go onto that disk that we created a minute ago, the USB disk, and we've got some key files. This one, this one, this one, and then we've got a log file, this one. That's what Mosby did, which is good. So you need to save this log file and copy these files and keep them safe so that you can then create your own or sign your own UEFI binaries and install operating systems like Linux and all this kind of stuff. There we go. Hope this was useful.